Welcome to another episode of the Everblack Podcast, proudly brought to you by RW Promotion and Blacklight Art Design. I'm your host, Nev. On the show, we are joined by one of my favourite vocalists and frontmen on the planet, Chad Gray from HELLYEAH, who are set to release their new album, Welcome Home, on Friday, September 27. Welcome Home is, of course, the last of the band recorded with legendary drummer Vinnie Paul, who passed away last year, and it's just such a really great tribute to the man who had such a massive impact on so many bands and musicians with, of course, HELLYEAH and Pantera. And I feel really, really lucky to have had the chance to interview him a couple of years before he passed. He was really, really cool. Just one of those pinch yourself moments. Anyone who actually interacted with him said exactly the same thing, that he was just a really cool guy. But you can hear him all over this album, and it just kicks so much ass. And the band have done such a phenomenal job picking up where where it was left off, because it was, of course, unfinished. It was midway through the recording that he passed away. But man, this album has got a lot of heart, and it's heavy. Holy shit, is it got its heavy moments. I highly recommend everyone just go out and get it. Pre-order it now. Pre-orders are up through JB Hi-Fi and all digital retailers. It's just a kick-ass album. And to be honest, I was a bit nervous going into this interview. As I mentioned before, Chad is one of my biggest heroes, and in my opinion, one of the best metal vocalists ever. His technique, as you know, if you know that, you know his style, it's just insane. And he's in the interview, he gave a bit of a demonstration in the chat, and goes into detail about how he does it. All the blah, 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 speed stuff. If you pause it right at the right moment, you can hear my head explode, I'm pretty sure. It was just awesome. It was just awesome. But, it's always ones like these that make you an even bigger fan afterwards when you interact with them, It's really, really cool. So, as mentioned before, pre-orders are up now for Welcome Home through JB Hi-Fi, all digital retailers. And on a side note, make sure you check out the web series that goes behind the scenes of the making of the album. It's pretty heavy in some bits, pretty emotional, but super inspiring. And as I mentioned, the band have just done such a kick-ass job at bringing this album out. It's awesome. All right, before we go into the interview, I have to mention that this episode is brought to you by our good friends at Blacklight Art Design, who are our go-to for all our screen printing needs. They've done all our shirts and hats for Everblack Media, and they've got such a great turnaround. Highly recommend checking these guys out. www.blacklightad.com.au. Show is also brought to you by our good friends at RW Promotion, who are the best in the biz when it comes to stickers, flyers, banners, badges, and all other promo you need for your band or business. Go check them out at www.rwpromotion.com.au. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Everblack Podcast through Spreaker, iTunes, YouTube, and now Facebook. We're uploading them there now, and feel free to leave us a review and subscribe, of course, and share the content. It means a lot to us and helps us keep going. All right, here is my interview with the one and only Chad Gray from HELLYEAH. Get Welcome Home this week when it drops. You won't regret it. Enjoy.
Hey, Chad, how are you, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, man. Thanks for taking the time to chat on the show, man. I've been a fan for almost 20 years of yours, so kind of a big deal for me. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like fans of 20 years. That's good. It makes me feel nice and fucking old. Unless, of course, I started doing this when I was 5, which I didn't, unfortunately.
I'm not far behind you, man.
No.
That's for sure.
The only old you feel, right? I feel great.
Well, that's right. But I guess I'm one up on you. I'm a grandfather, so there you go.
There you go. Well, I don't have any kids, but I think I just dodged some bullets, so it's all.
Oh man, that's awesome. The new HELLYEAH album, Welcome Home, comes out on September 27, and I think what you guys have done here is just absolutely unreal, as it goes against expectations of what a HELLYEAH record should sound like in a lot of ways, without losing its way at all. It's very, very cool, and you guys should be super proud of that.
Thank you very much. We are. I mean, we're a pretty diverse band, and we kind of pride ourselves on that. So, I mean, when you've got drummers like Vinnie and players like Tom and fucking badass bass players like Kyle and Christian that can fucking be an absolute badass on guitar, you know what I mean? You can do all sorts of different things, man. We try to just open it up, man. The way that I write, it's like there's many emotions to the human experience, right? You know, nobody wakes up crying and cries all day. Nobody wakes up screaming and screams all day. You're happy, you're sad, you're pissed, you're mad. You know what I mean? So it's like I try to write like that. I try to write with just all sorts of different emotions in mind. So people, whenever they're in that particular emotion, can bring it close to them, you know, and make it applicable to their life, hopefully. And maybe it helps them, and hopefully helps them push through and get through the day. I mean, I know the music did that to me for more times than I can count. You know, heavy metal saved my life. It's kind of one of my mantras or whatever, something I live by. And I'm very thankful to not only be a part of it, but to have been turned on to it at a very early age, you know, going through, you know, pretty turbulent upbringing and abuse and shit and, you know, a lot of bad stuff. But, you know, I literally, I turned my, I found metal, and it didn't matter what the songs were about or what the dude was saying or whatever. It just resonated inside of me, and it just kind of helped me fight and turned me into a fighter. You know, now I'm a fighter, I'm a survivor, I'm all those things, but never a victim.
You know, you're talking about, you know, different emotions and different things, but there's different blended throughout the album. For example, like say, At Wick's End seems to me, from my point of view, like a Ministry industrial groove blended with like an Alice in Chains melodies and stuff like that. I mean, was that part of the plan going into it? You know, you guys sort of discussed and said, let's just really turn this thing on its head.
It's like they give me the music, man, and I just write to it, honestly. I mean, I just get the music, and I sit there, and with every song, just one at a time. I mean, my brain can't even fucking process, you know, listening to, you know, 10 songs in a row over and over and over again. It's so much shit going on. And so I just kind of get a jumping off point, and you know, they write 2 or 3 or 4 songs or something, or they get the compositions together and the song beds down or whatever. I just kind of listen through those a few times, like those 4 songs, and then one will jump out at me or one will resonate in me a little bit or something. I'll just kind of jump on that one, and then I will sit literally and listen to that song 1,000 times. I mean, just over and over, back to front, back to front, back to front, back to front. It's one of the. It's funny to say, but like one of the things that I like live my life by, and I have been since I've been a writer, is a quote from Aleister Crowley: "Even if you work poorly, work." You know what I mean? Because the poor work that you think you're doing will actually morph into great work. But you, like, when I'm listening to the compositions over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, I'm like, I'm pounding my head off the table. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't come up with anything but this and stuff. And you're just giving it so much energy. You're putting so much energy into the song. And you're trying to get the song to speak to you. You know what I mean? So you're trying to catch that lightning in a bottle or whatever. And then you get up to go take a piss, and boom, there's an idea, because your own conscious mind kicks into it, or you lay down to go to sleep after you've been listening to it so much. And it's just like, it gets embedded in your mind, and then you don't have to think about it. So the poor work, you know, so to speak, is you just giving the song its due time and attention. If you don't ever listen to it, it's never going to come to you. You know, if you don't pick up a hammer and a nail and a board, you're never going to build a fucking house. If you just sit and look at a hammer and a nail and a board, it's never going to get built. Nothing's going to happen. You know what I mean? So, like, you have to give it its time, and you have to give it its attention, and you have to want it. You have to want it, and you have to, you know, search through the ether to try to pull something out of the clear blue nothing, you know, that comes into you and inspires you to, you know, get on a lyrical, like maybe it's a lyric, maybe it's a melody that you're humming out or something like that. You're just trying to find any way to, just anything that will give you to just start building something. You know, it's like, you know, and then, you know, you just keep messing with it, you know, like, sometimes I'll do it, and I will catch lightning in the bottle, and it's great, and I'm off to the races. And sometimes I'll do it. I'll write a verse in the chorus, and I'll be like, I don't like it. I'll throw it away, and I'll start it brand new. But, it's just, I don't know. That's just how it works for me. You're talking about just different songs on the record. It's like I just write. That's all I do. I just write. I just listen to the song, and I just kind of come up with shit, and I go for it. I mean, I've got notebooks and all sorts of shit with words and lines and stuff written down. Probably 99 times out of 100, I never go back to them. It's always something that comes out of my head, even though I have a stockpile of stuff, an arsenal of things that I could go to if I just wanted to write something, but I believe in the power of the song, so I want to let the song be the song.
Tells you what it wants, but a lot of people. That happens with me. You got to wait for it to speak to you.
Yeah, it gives you some kind of a direction. Like I said, sometimes it's a lyric, or sometimes it's a melody, or sometimes it's not even like a melody line or a lyric, or sometimes it's rhythmic. The kind of shit I do, the really fast stuff. That stuff was based off Vinnie's drums. You know what I mean? Like Vinnie loved that about our connection, because he loved the way that I would play off the drum beats or whatever, and build songs around his drum beats. And for example, 333, that was his baby on this record. That was like his song, just because that kick pattern that he does in the verse, and and I can do that shit all day. But when you get to the chorus, like, I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Is this guy trying to break me? I mean, I don't even know what to do with it, And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to sing in the holes. Here we go. And, ended up working out, so. But he always had songs like that on records where they just, like, they're Vinnie songs,
Yeah.
We all just play to him. So he would come in with a drum beat, there's something ridiculous like those. And like Say When, same way. That's how the song started. That was a beat that he came up with, and the band literally wrote to him, and then I wrote to the band and him. So, and then that's just how it was created. But he was a big. I mean, people, not only was he a fantastic, unreal, arguably one of the greatest drummers, metal drummers ever.
Absolutely.
He was a gearhead. I mean, he knew a lot about the gear. He knew a lot about arrangement. He knew a lot about hook. He knew a lot about. He knew a lot about songwriting. I mean, and he was a big fan of playing for the song. He loved to play for the song, and I mean, that goes all the way back to him and Pantera. Walk is like, you're a novice guitar player, you know what I mean, or a novice drummer, and you could pick up a guitar and you could probably learn to play that riff in 15 minutes, you know what I mean? But that wasn't the point. The point was not jerking off and like, look at what I can do, because either one of those guys could play whatever the fuck they wanted to play on their respective.
Yeah.
But they knew how to play for the song. They knew how to kind of dumb shit down sometimes to make it better, because, sometimes if you're just, you're just being self-righteous, so to speak, or just like, look how fast I can play this, or look how fast I can play these drums, or look how fast I can, the high I can hit a note, or whatever, you're singing or whatever. It's like, it doesn't make for a great song,
No, that's right.
But Walk is a great song.
So that's a perfect example. How many young dudes out there that were just getting into metal, wanted to learn guitar, wanted to learn drums, that were just like, I need something to learn, and they love Pantera. They cut their teeth on that song, and then that led them on to,
I'm sure.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be, as you said, technical.
Once you get that one song under your belt, man, now it's time to go fucking get a second song.
That's right, man.
That's how you get started, So, a lot of guitar players do that. They learn one riff, and then they want to learn the whole song that riff came from. Then they want to learn another riff. Then they want to learn that whole song. Next thing you know, you got a fucking guitar player. So Vinnie really knew how to play for the song.
Absolutely, man. I was going to say, like you were mentioning, we're talking about guitars and drums and stuff like that. But vocally, you're very similar as well. You can do your melodies and stuff like that and make stuff easy for people to sing along to. But then on the flip side of that, I've found some of your stuff can be expert level, like especially the fast stuff. When I was starting to learn vocals, man, holy shit, some of that stuff I still like, all the overdubs. I still can't nail it today, and I don't know how the fuck you do it, but you do it. Where does that come from? Where did the origins of all that come from you? Because it's crazy.
It just came from playing with fucking great drummers, man. Really, honestly, and great rhythm sections. Fucking, I always like to think about songs as being, and I know this is going to sound weird, but I always tell Tom, I'm like, make this shit danceable. When you're writing a riff, make it danceable. You know what I mean? It sounds weird to say danceable because you start thinking about pop and hip-hop and shit like that. No. Fucking Pantera was danceable. It was a fucking danceable band. It was heavy as fuck. Even Metallica, you know what I mean? Shit was danceable. It was like, so back to just my vocals and stuff like that, it was just like, I was always drawn to the rhythms of things and stuff like that, and that's part of my kind of prowess or whatever is having that kind of rhythmical element. But it's not about how fast I'm singing; it's about the bounce in between. Sometimes it's the silence between the notes. You know what I mean? It's like it's the bounce of the groove, and then maybe I'll only write a line. And then I write 2 lines, and now I'm on a bounce. Now I've got the groove, and now I know how to bounce it. And the lyrics just start kind of coming to me. And the more I sing it, the more it's really about muscle memory. It's like guitar playing. It's like drumming. A lot of drummers that are super technical drummers don't really think about what they're playing once they know it. Because once they know it, they just know where their hands and their feet know exactly what to do. Guitar players are going these fucking ripping fucking leads. And it's not necessarily that they're sitting there thinking about, hey, Sharpie, they're not thinking about the notes. They're just going, they played it so many times, it's their fingers know where to go, and their right hand knows where to pluck. And with me, it's just about the bounce. And it's just like, pain and raise the fucking big minimum. It's just like, boom. I'm just like, now I'm off to the races and stuff like that. So it's a lot of it's about muscle memory. It's just training yourself how to. And, dude, sometimes it's like, I'm propane and I'm pro rate the fuck everything. I'm propane and I'm pro rate the fuck everything. I'm propane and I'm pro rate. And I'll learn to sing it faster until I get it to the tempo that I need it. And then maybe that is the first line, and then I'll like the bounce of it. So then that leads me to write the second line, the third line, the fourth line, and shit like that. That's just how it works. That's how it works for me. It might work for you a different way. Everybody's different about how they approach songwriting. You know what I mean? So I like the song to tell me kind of what it wants to be about.
Yeah.
So I pound my head off the fucking table, for an hour or so, whatever, or hours, or days.
Yeah. I feel you, man. I definitely feel you there. And of course, one thing I want to say, man, like the album, it's a hell of a lot of fun to drive through. I've been driving to work. I've got an hour drive to work and back, and I've been cranking it. And even though it's a lot of fun, man, like. Nice. The album has a hell of a lot of heart, and the song Sky and Water, it's just, dude, that is a beautiful tribute to Vinnie. And there's wise words in there. Keep on keeping on and don't sweat the small stuff. It feels like that's a real positive message in there.
Those are his words. Those are his exact words. Like he would always tell me, like, Chad, don't sweat the small stuff. He used to tell me that shit all the time. He'd just laugh. He'd be like, Chad, don't sweat the small stuff. Come on, man. And he's like, and to keep on keeping on, then man, you just got to keep on keeping on. I mean, he was always like that. We've all been riding on tour buses for God knows how long, him even longer than me, and fucking, and shit like that. But our bus broke down, and we did 4 weeks in a van, in a little like 2 minivans. Like, and when I say minivans, I don't mean small vans. I mean small vans with many seats that didn't recline. Fucking absolutely miserable. I mean, we were doing like full long-haul drives that you would do in a bus, driving states and shit. And Vinnie drove a lot of those drives. You know what I mean? And I mean, like, here you got a guy who's probably been riding tour buses for 30 years, and he's driving the minivan with his band in it. And everybody in it laughing and fucking, we were all laughing and just fucking, we just made the best of it all the time. that was just him. I mean, that's how he was. I mean, he was so generous and so gracious and so kind and truly loved us and truly loves his fans and his family. We don't even consider fans family or fans. We consider fans family.
Oh, man.
That's kind of our thing. It's like, we're all in this shit together. Nobody asked for it. I didn't ask to be put here. But God damn it, I need every single one of you to help me get through it. And if you need me, I'll be there to help you get through it. You lean on me and I'll lean back on you. That's the deal. You know what I mean? Deal? Let's do it. Let's march on. So we all, it's weird. It's like, some people think like music when you're on stage and stuff is a give and take, we're giving and we're taking something from the crowd and stuff like that. The way I look at it, it's more about all of us sharing. You know what I mean? We're sharing something. We're not
that energy.
I'm not giving you something. It's about sharing the space. It's about sharing the energy. It's about sharing the love, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the friendships, the love, the family, and everything together. That's what it's about to me, it's like you can say, what's the difference between being rich and being wealthy? Being rich to me is like having a lot of money or having a nice boat or having a badass car or having a big-ass house and shit like that. But being wealthy is what we have as metalheads.
Yes.
Like, that's what I
Absolutely.
feel. Like, I feel when I'm on stage and I'm in a room with my family and our family, and we're all together there supporting one another, leaning on each other, that is true fucking wealth to me. So
I
you
agree.
can take your money, you can take your car, you can take your fucking house. I'm not giving this shit up at all. I mean, this isn't for sale. This isn't something you can buy. This is something that you belong to. This is something that you become. And this, it's about being a part, even being the singer of the band or whatever. It's about being part of something that's bigger than me. And for every single person in that crowd, I'm no better and you're no worse. I'm no worse and you're no better. You know what I mean? We're all in it together, and we're all going to get through it together. And that's how we have to look at it, And once the sooner we have that understanding and realize that, the better off we're going to be, So, and I
totally agree.
It's not just that way with HELLYEAH. It's that way with all metal bands. Like, man,
absolutely.
Any fucking metal show I go to, all my friends' bands are in the Slipknots, the Lamb of Gods, the fucking Slayers of the world, fucking you name them. You know what I mean? When I go to their shows, man, I feel like I'm a part of fucking Slayer. I feel like I'm a part of Slipknot. I feel like I'm a part of Lamb of God. I fucking felt like I was a part of Pantera when I was 17 fucking years old.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Like, I loved it. I mean, and I didn't have any friends that weren't Pantera fans. And you know what? I didn't want to have any friends that weren't Pantera fans.
Yeah.
I don't have any friends that aren't Slayer fans. And you know what? I don't want to have any friends that aren't Slayer fans. You know what I mean? And vice versa. It's just, it's just like, it's not a competitive sport. Art is an extension of yourself. It's an extension of your soul. Everybody's music should be different. It should be a little different, even if you're in the same genre. So you just gotta, in the words of Lemmy, run it up the flagpole and see who salutes it. You know what I mean?
I was debating about asking this one, man. But next year is the 20th anniversary of LD50, and I know, even though you guys aren't active, do you have plans to celebrate that in some way? Because that was a big deal for a lot of people.
I have no idea. I know it's a big deal for a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
Mudvayne is probably bigger now than it's ever been, honestly. So I mean, I know that it's a big moment, and it's definitely just a huge hurdle, to whatever. But I mean, me and the guys still talk. Everybody's cool, but every single one of them understand that I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm doing it for a fucking reason. I'm on a mission right now to carry the torch for not only my brother, my drummer, one of my best friends, my childhood hero, but a mentor of mine. I'm here to carry his torch for him, for his brother, for Jeff Hanneman, for Paul Gray, for Lane Staley, for fucking Chester Bennington, for fucking Chris Cornell, for all of them. Lemmy, Ronnie James, I mean, you name it. I mean, I think that they were all so gracious and selfless that they they left us all behind their music to be able to get through the rest of our lives with, and that their music helped us get as far as we are now, and they left it for us. And I think we need to embrace that. And I'm going to carry this torch with my metal, with my band and my metal family that is worldwide. And we're going to do it together, man. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And I cannot wait to get down to Australia again. But
is that happening?
We're already talking about it.
Yes.
Absolutely, it's going to happen. We just need to get everybody to stomp on the ground, throw yourself down on the ground like a little kid, hold your breath, throw tantrums, make noise, and just be like, we want hell yeah, nah, nah, nah. You know what I mean? Like, just make as much fucking noise and stomp your feet as hard as you can. And when the promoters can't deny it, they have to bring us.
Excellent.
Metalhead Hellions, and we will come.
Absolutely,
awesome, man.
Thank you so much, Chad. I appreciate it so much,
man.
man.
I had a fucking great time talking to you, man.
Cool. Oh, man, that means a lot. Well, I hope you have a good day, brother.
You too, man. Take care, and let's stay in touch.